AITA for my husband missing his daughter's prom? Originally posted by U_extension Marzipan86 in r. Am I the Asshole on April 26, 23. Updated on May 1, 23. An NBSP. Original. April 26, 23. An NBSP. AITA for my husband missing his daughter's prom? I, 36 female, have been married to my husband Josh, 40, for 10 years. We have a 9-year-old daughter Lauren together, and my stepdaughter Riley is 18. About a year ago I booked a vacation with my girlfriends for one of their bachelorette parties. It's this weekend in Tennessee. We leave Thursday and come back Monday. This weekend Lauren has a cheerleading competition that Josh is taking her to. Lauren is required to have a guardian there the whole time, and she needs to arrive early Friday and leaving Sunday. We did ask the cheer director if a friend's mom could bring her and my husband could meet her there after, but they said no. And if she's not there for the check-in time, she can't compete that weekend. Riley's prom is Friday. Riley did not have a junior prom and her school only has senior prom. We found out the date of prom after school started, and the trip had already been booked and paid for. My husband is now going to be missing Riley's prom to take Lauren to her competition. Riley thinks this is extremely unfair and that we're playing favorites since she'll never get this chance again, and she wants pictures with her dad and sister. She's been messaging my husband about it. Lauren doesn't want to miss her competition and risk her spot on her team. My husband asked if I'd cancel my trip, and I told him no. The trip has been booked, paid for, and I also need a break. He takes breaks and trips as well. My husband and I are now fighting because he feels like no matter what he does he's stuck. He's already told Lauren he'll be taking her to the cheer comp, which means he'll be missing prom. So AITA? An NBSP. In the comments. Getting some "this isn't really my problem because I'm not even going to be here" vibes. Yeah, you're not that concerned with your daughter's situations. I will be in Tennessee while it's his turn to figure this one out. Figure this one out. What have you ever had to figure out between the two girls? Usually everything. We all usually go to both girls' events, and if the girls have events on the same day or same times, I'll take Lauren and he'll take Riley. He knew about this trip well in advance, and I let him know since I wouldn't be here he'd have to figure this one out. Sounds like you are focused on being vindictive and forcing responsibility on your husband because of past issues. I can see you need a break. But in this instance you are hurting the kids more than anyone else. You chose to have children and their needs come first. You really should have learned that before having a kid. Comments responding to people saying op is to blame for the whole mess. Maybe extend your context gathering skills to pick up on the fact that she always manages the scheduling for the family. Dad set this up while she worked. Didn't check a calendar, etc. She can't clean up every mess herself. She's paid for the trip. He overbooked himself. She won't be there. He could choose to be there for a photo op for prom and the youngest misses out. And that means she misses out on a full season or other competitions. He chose to honor the choice he himself made. It's prom, not grad. Why should op need to figure it all out last minute? Why didn't they try to figure it out sooner? Why didn't her husband try figuring it out before telling the coach that his daughter will take part at the competition? Or talk to his older daughter way before? It sounds like a last-minute realization and planning on the husband's side to me, where op relied on his planning. So Riley sees that you always pick Lauren over her? Op. I don't pick Lauren over Riley. But Riley has her mother and father at her events when I can't go, and Lauren has me, her mother. Sometimes I can't always be at my SD events when my daughter also has one. If she misses the competition, her entire team can't compete. All the kids have to be there in order to compete that are on the roster that was submitted. The girls either still show up or they forfeit. My husband has decided he's not forcing Lauren to miss her competition. We did look into documents the competition would need and there wasn't time to get them in time. Since it's this weekend, so it would have to be my husband taking her or her not going. Editor note: I'm seeing lots of comments about why another trusted adult couldn't be there for Lauren. My sister was in competitive cheer from grade 3 to grade 12. They likely needed a legal guardian there for legal purposes, in case there was an injury or something. Maybe to sign legal liability waivers for the event space. Cheerleading can be pretty dangerous when they get old enough to incorporate tumbling and pyramids. Riley and I have always been close. I usually drive both girls to their events and competitions and do most of the family planning regularly. Info: was the roster submitted before or after you knew about Riley's conflict? Op: before my husband realized prom was that weekend. He's the one who cleared with the coach she'd be there. He went to the meeting for it while I was working that day. When my husband learned about the conflict, I told him he needed to figure it out since I would not be here. He is the one who agreed to the competition I was working when he was at the meeting where it was discussed and agreed to. He is just as much a parent as I am, and that's why I told him he needed to figure this one out. He agreed to the competition when I wasn't there, knowing I was away that weekend. So when he realized there was a conflict, I told him to figure it out, and he never did anything until last minute. He wants me to cancel my trip and I refused. I had considered canceling for a moment, then realized this mess wasn't created by me, and he's also a parent and I shouldn't always have to fix everything. So I will be going on my trip and he can fix the mess he created. I wasn't part of the decision. I told him to figure it out. About leaving for her trip a day late. When we scheduled the trip, we paid for Thursday, Monday. I can't arrive late because I put the reservation in my name, so I do have to be present and show my ID and credit card. Prom is Friday, yes? When is her hair apt? Can Dad pull her early from school? Get all dolled up and take pics? And then take Elle to cheer? Op: anyone who doesn't go to school or leaves early can't go to prom. They have a half day. Hair appointment is at 2 p.m. Makeup is after that. Lauren has the day off from school for professional development, and they would have to leave for cheer around 11 a.m. the latest because of how far the competition is from our house. An NBSP judgment. No a-holes here. An NBSP update. Over the next few days. An NBSP update. I have decided to stand my ground that I will not be canceling my trip. I will be getting on the plane in the morning. Josh just sat down me, Riley, and Lauren to talk about the weekend. He explained he'll be taking Lauren to her competition while Riley's mother takes pictures with her at prom. He said he taught the girls about commitment, and he's not going to have Lauren's absence have the team forfeit. He told her we could do pictures if she wanted to put her dress on a second time, but she said it won't be the same and she's upset. Riley is upset with her father and thinks he's favoring Lauren. Update 2. My husband just called me and he decided to leave with Lauren to the cheer competitions after breakfast so that they could have lunch and relax before meeting up with her team. They are officially safe at the hotel for the competition. Thank you for all the support we've received and even for the negative comments. An NBSP. May 1st, 23. Last edit date retrieved with Untit. Update 3. Riley had senior prom last weekend and looked beautiful. She took pictures with her mom and friends. We did offer to do pictures again with her this weekend, but she's chosen not to. She said it won't be the same, and we're respecting her feelings about that. Thank you to everyone for that suggestion though. Lauren's team placed at the cheerleading competition, so they will be getting ready for the next competition. An NBSP reminder: do not comment on the original posts or contact the original poster. I am not the original poster. This is a repost. Those rules for cheer seem brutally inflexible. Must have a parent guardian for each kid, and if one isn't there, the whole team forfeits? I can kind of see reasons why they might have such rules, but the inflexibility would just make things harder for everyone. Sometimes parents have to make hard choices. The original commenters were concerned with who is at fault. But to me it seems just to be an unfortunate situation where two parents have 3 commitments and one of those can't happen. Does seem crazy that a cheerleading competition would be scheduled for the weekend of prom. Though, edit, totally missed the younger daughter's age. I was thinking they were both teenagers at the same school. She wants pictures with her dad and her sister. It sounds like even if Oop canceled her trip, the issue wouldn't be solved, because the sister was going to be at the cheer competition no matter what. Or am I missing something? ELI 5. Or English. What have parents got to do with prom? It's a party, ball for high school kids. Right? I don't understand what Riley would be missing out on by her dad not waiting at home all night while she's at a ball. AITA always seems to have a hate boner against stepparents. I just don't see how any of this was OP's fault. Just bad timing for everyone. I read the original, and I remain baffled that all this upheaval is because. Check notes. OP doesn't want to cancel on a friend's out-of-town bachelorette party. Big event. Affecting other people. And her daughter and her daughter's entire team doesn't want to miss out on a competition. Big event. Affecting many people. So that stepdaughter can take a couple snapshots with her dad and sister that will never been looked at again. Unless everyone else is still waxing poetic about spending prom with their parents? I was reading and being like, well, but it's a HS graduation. Can't the child just skip a competition? But then I read the comments. It was the prom? I'm not American, but I understand prom as equals kids at a dance with a date and friends and no parents? What would the dad miss? Staying at home waiting for her? My opinion changed when it came out that the dad agreed to the competition before consulting calendars. I was under the impression that it was pre-committed, and it's not like the school consults extra curriculars outside of school for scheduling prom. That, and I saw elsewhere that it may have been possible to let another adult go if the documents needed from the legal guardians were signed or taken care of by a certain time point. At that point the dad did drop the ball, though regardless of fault, it results in overcommitment from the parents, and that will mean someone will not be happy. At least the stepdaughter had her own mother there for her. But it definitely was a Los Alacelos situation. I would have preferred that the kids get priority. But the dad would absolutely have had to make the trip up for his wife, and I definitely sympathize with her since he needs to step up and be more responsible. She can't be the only one who can reliably manage schedules in the family. I'm astounded at all the people piling on Oop that her attitude is, he's also a parent and he's also capable of figuring this situation out, like she doesn't care. She's mentioned plenty enough times that a lot of the time it is her job to figure out these kinds of dilemmas, and she's finally putting her foot down that she deserves a break and doesn't deserve to lose out on time, money, and fun with her friends to make her stepdaughter happy. It's an unwinnable situation for the husband. But that doesn't mean Oop needs to throw herself on the fire to put others out. It's so wild that people are going so hard on OP here. First of all, it's photos that they're missing out on, not the event. Second of all, How is it fair to opt to miss out on a trip that she had planned for a year in advance and put the deposit down for reservations, as well as having her younger daughter and her team forfeit the competition so that the stepdaughter gets to take photos for 15 minutes with her dad, who, by the way, is the one that messed up the schedule but fully expects his second wife and kid to pay for his mistake. Unreal. If Riley goes NC due to not having snapshots of her dad and sis before her prom, I would assume a larger trend of her father not correctly juggling his parental responsibilities and schedule. Otherwise that's just kind of unhinged. Honestly, this just feels like internalized misogyny. And Op is getting lambasted for being a wicked stepmom when honestly she probably has the least fault in all of this. Is she not a person? Is she not allowed to make plans outside of her family? A year ahead. Mind you. Is it because she became a mom so people just assumed that that's her sole purpose and identity? Wild. Riley isn't missing prom. She's missing 2 props for her photos. Hating forever? Weird. Nothing explicitly terrible, but nothing obviously good. NGL, I feel like the parents could have offered a photo shoot before the prom and it would have been a much better option than offering after. Prevent photos are 100% a thing, and it would have given their older daughter a day for her without any stress or conflict. Offering after the event happens just feels like her entire perspective of being second fiddle to her younger sister was left on the back burner. Like okay, now we have time for that thing you cared about. But good on Oop for putting her foot down that dad needed to clean up his own mess. That trip and prom were scheduled way before the cheer comp, and he should have paid more mind to the family calendar instead of expecting his partner to drop everything and cover for him. Sum up this AITA comment section. A few highly upvoted comments about how you're an asshole for not sacrificing everything for your child. The rest of the upvoted comments saying, why would you possibly be the asshole here? Prom is not that important? Quote. Trying to understand why a parent is going to prom. I get she wanted her dad there to take photos with, but I think she's getting more upset than the issue is worth. Having the house to myself with no parents would have been my preference for prom night. Would have been at least 30 kids there all weekend. My parents left me at home alone the weekend of my senior prom. I managed to develop into a functional, productive member of society anyway. I remember thinking that her give a damn went and gave out. And she was just so over cleaning up logistical messes for plans she didn't have a hand in making. Being the family scheduling manager is a full-time job, especially if the other parent won't look beyond 5 minutes in the future and doesn't know how a calendar works. Dad dropped the ball and tried to make it her problem. I remember when this was posted, at first it was an Ove Helming YTA.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.